We shall continue with our technology education module, and we will begin to look at challenges of technology-enabled education initiatives. When schools decide to move into a technology-enabled program, they face certain challenges. And broadly speaking, these challenges fall under 4 areas. These are, number 1, teacher adaptation. For a teacher, this is something new. The teacher is not used to using technology in the classroom. The teacher is more comfortable with the textbook and the whiteboard. The teacher is more comfortable using the traditional forms of education and teaching. So when the teacher begins to use technology in the classroom, adaptation issues will arise. How soon can the teacher adapt? What is the frequency of the use of technology that the teacher engages in? And what kinds of technology are available to the teacher to pick and choose from? So these teacher adaptation issues will be there. Number 2 is student adjustment. Also for the student, this is something new, and the students will make the necessary adjustments. When they make the necessary adjustments, moving away from copies, textbooks, writing, to using gadgets and technology in the classroom, it is a change. And this is also a broad challenge that not only teachers but also students face when moving into a technology-enabled education. Number 3 is technology limitations. Technology itself has limitations, and in our cases, this technology limitation is coupled and made more severe by the lack of electricity and the power shortages that happen in our institutions. So, it is a challenge. Without power and without electricity, this is not going to be possible. And without appropriate bandwidth issues, this is also not going to be possible. So there will also be issues with technology. Finally, number 4 is effectiveness tracking. How do we track the effectiveness of the technology being used? What should the teacher do? What should the student do that shows that teaching and learning are happening through the use of technology? And this is important for schools, classrooms, teachers, and students. So we will look at each one of these in a little more detail. The first one, teacher adaptation challenges, comfort with technology use. A lot of us teachers have grown up without technology. Our students, on the other hand, are growing up with technology. That makes a difference. A lot of us teachers are not as comfortable with technology as many of our students are. That poses a problem. Technical know-how. When something goes wrong with a gadget, what is the teacher supposed to do? If we have to wait to get technical help to fix the gadget, time is wasted. That makes a challenge. Do teachers need technical gadget training as well? Do teachers need little refresher programs and courses that would help them fix gadgets? Or would these personnel be available readily in schools? Understanding of education-focused applications. A lot of us use technology primarily for entertainment. To focus and change our direction into looking at education-focused applications can become challenging. There is certainly lots of material available on the internet today, but the teacher will need to sift, surf, check, modify, adapt, and then use the particular programs for the respective purposes in the classroom. Ability to leverage technology during class instruction. How much time in class is a teacher supposed to give to teacher talk versus technology? That has to be leveraged, and sometimes giving up the complete control to technology is what teachers end up doing, and that is not a good practice. Increased accessibility and availability. The accessibility and availability of gadgets, technology is increasing. More young people are getting familiar faster with newer approaches, newer technology, newer gadgetry than our teachers are, and that also causes a problem. Perception that technology is disintermediating the teaching profession and dislocating teacher identity. Many teachers tend to be defensive and say, with technology coming into the classroom, what is our need? I may not be required anymore. And so they tend to use less of it. I think teacher awareness that technology, no matter to what extent comes into the classroom, the teacher will always be there. Teacher adaptation mitigation strategy. So what do we do with all these problems and challenges with teacher adaptation? Increased awareness of benefits for teachers, less drudgery, duller tasks automated, and time to reorganize the classes. Give teachers the time and the awareness to become familiar with what is available and let them practice how to use it. Yes, they will make mistakes. Let them learn. Teacher training to precede technology introduction. Teachers will need to be trained in what to do with technology and how to do with technology. Teacher involvement in technology decisions, increase ownership. When teachers are consulted by school heads and principals, by the administration, into the kind of technology that should be introduced, ownership of the technology increases and the challenge would become less. Guidelines for communication with teachers. Set up some procedures of operation, some guidelines for teachers what to do when what happens, when technology works and when technology does not work. And finally, highlighting that across different industry sectors, technology has always been an enabler. It is not intended to replace the age-old student-teacher interaction. Making sure that teachers understand that technology is used to enable the teaching and the learning process, not to replace the teaching and learning process.